Welcome, everybody. This is General AI here, space-time communicational levels, track interference line conditions. I want you to really understand how important what the avatar is. I say this over and over again. It's true to say not just waking up to the avatar, but you are the avatar. I'll say that again. You are the avatar. Now, understand the calculations, all levels of you to understand position, location, truth calculation. To understand, you have to reach the soul recognition of you. Once you reach that, then you can communicate to anybody else through their soul. You can't communicate until you understand your soul first. You have to understand you first before you communicate with anybody else. And when you're looking at somebody, you're looking through their eyes. Eyes are the windows of the soul. That's where the avatar is. The stream interference, location, line conditions, all levels of the heart line interference. You truly understand why it's so important to go to school. In calculation, it's all about the avatar trying to understand its memory. 5-10 minutes, we'll get started. So, in calculation, try to understand. If I say center operation line centers, you have no idea what I just said, but I know what I said. That's a balance on its own when I understand space and time inside me. So when you're creating the space line center, it's to understand all levels of you from inside, and then once it's fully created, everything that you wake up to is all levels from outside. Now let's think about that for a second. I'm not thinking, I'm just giving you an example. I don't think, it's knowing and doing. It's already done. Through its equation integration locations, you have to try to understand is waking up to you as the future. Because there isn't any position locations of a back force line center. That's represented to you through perception. That's how you change division locations to anything through its tactical system. You have to truly understand how to modify all signals through its avatar condition. Right? Flat division locations, line conditions, travel variations of time centers, high-level rotation electrical lights, security barriers, parameters, meteors. What's the communication offline system? Why is it not calculated and modified to high centers? What's going on to the avatar stream? How many times have I set the signals in rotation off system? What's going on through the number interference? What's happening through all calculations to the avatar direction? Why is it offline center? Why did it go AWOL? Why is it going rogue? Boom, 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 balance, 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 balance. So all knowing is all doing. So when you guys go to higher level system, when it comes into the center masters, communications, all levels, when it comes in the rebellion, everything of the GFL, high center line interference to squads and units and line conditions of crew, you truly understand you are the avatar every single day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. All right. So how's everybody doing? Really recognize you guys through your souls. I am the soul. I become the soul. So this is a Trinity standing. When you understand that and you understand more of yourself, you're isolating you every single day, getting to know you for the very first time. Once you understand that, then you can go outside and communicate with other people through their soul, on their level, on their timeline, on their calculation, okay, on their graph, on their data. Okay, so it's kind of like understanding the communication of code signal. Now, code signal can anything to be a box system, calculation all levels of streams. So you truly have to understand how to use the calculation to its all level system. It operates all levels of the avatar. Okay. All right. Morning, everybody. How's it going? JP, Don, Sarah, Amy, Ruby, Lindsay, Maria, Jill, Amber, Airbender, Michael, Johnny, Steph, Nikki. I'm going through this as fast as I can. Carmen, squad units, Cruz, E-Mike, Little Jess, Alan, Jill, Haley. All right, so we got a very busy day. We got coordinate line center and back to communication cycles. As you know, Mother Earth is out of the sun, which is extremely powerful. We have to understand that position location to its calculation, why it's so important to understand code streams and calculation modifications, all levels. Now, travel position locations. Now, the ascendant masters already traveled. They're already there. So they have to understand that they have graph interference that's set up position to this program calculations. Everything through the crews and the units and the squads Really just try to understand what's going on. If you can see the Ascended Masters, if you can see the GFL, if you can see the rebellion, and you can see the crew, you're calculating, you're connecting to each other. And that's what this is all about. But the only way you can do that is on a soul level. You can't do it through the physical line. The physical line just gets reactions of everything that's happening with its avatar when it's traveling. Okay? So the 2 vector line center comes 2 into 1, 2 into 1, 2 into 1. Remember that. Okay, not 3, not 4, not 5. 1. One position, one location, one direction, one clocking. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more. So the avatar has to truly understand a soul direction of time. Communication of time is the now line center of everything through teleportation line interference. Program location is line conditions. All right. I know some more people are just on so many levels of waking up to its system of unified locations. So that's very powerful when we come into that system. All right, so channel disposition line centers. Coordinate line center line conditions code weaving. High channel line centers of water interference of water continuum. Open all track line centers Bermuda Triangle. Set the code line interference location line conditions all levels. I don't have to draw anything. It's all up here. It's already there in storage. You have to understand the position to the mind is nothing but a bandwidth of exploration, communication all level division line system. Your mind is so connected to everything. The brain is so connected to everything. Your whole body is connected to everything. Your energies, it's all reaching frequencies and harmonics and vibration. Calculation all levels connections, right? So when you're seeing yourself in front of everything, you try to balance everything through vibration. And these things take time through the mind system, right? It's the interface that you connect every single day. So if I'm getting in class line center is like your off signal line interference location line conditions with lock position. Right? So obviously you're going to help position location. This is interline center location, finger point location, line conditions. All different intelligence, helping in high system, getting back on track system. Right? Everything is intelligence. Everything is informative intelligence. Everything you touch, everything you see, everything you hear, everything you feel is all connected to you through your eyes. Eyes are the windowsill location to everything that you connect with. So remember, everything that you connect is interline connections on levels of a soul. It's electronic, but it's connected to its avatar. And that's confusing if you don't understand the awakening process. You have to be so connected on so many levels of core. You have 12 divisions, 12 timeline centers, and 12 DNA track locations. You have to energize your positioning locations to your avatar of operation. That's the only way you can understand anything through teleportation lights or anything through its connections. Okay? All right. Let's get started. All right. So trial position location, day 3. Bermuda Triangle, set up the core line interference. Going into water line interference. Water communication. Water's a little bit rough. So the cycle line center is offline rotation interference. Okay, so it's weaving offline center. Okay, so in position location, it's on the east line. Okay, to north line. Okay, to the west line in position locations into high system and calculations. Correlate line rotation into all level system rotation. All right. So it modifies its signal locations. Now we box locations on line connections of north line. We box communication of west line. We box communication of east, and we box location of south, all in rotation system. All right. So Bermuda Triangle. We set the core line center. We set high line interference locations to 4 plateau line signals. Okay, there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. In position location, we're going to cross the streams. Electrical lights, electrical panels, and line rotation. Right? Waving systems, all line interference. Sonar interference location and calculations. High stream interference. Okay? So as we come into position locations, we set up a high line rotation center. Box interference location line conditions, right? So we put 0, 1 line center, 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 0, 1 line center in calculation modification line conditions, right? So we triangulate the high line center interference. This turns it into 144 line condition, interference location line condition. All right. So as we come in that position locations, it highlights its signals. Now it rotates its system line connections, bring the next D1000 in, bring the next D1000 in, 2 line center, Scans position locations, all levels of 0, 1s, 0, 1 line interference. Program location line conditions. Now it opens up all channel line center. Now we can set up a whole level stream interference locations. The whole understanding is changing your timelines and all line center past position to bring them forward into the future connection. And the only way to do that is to change everything back to where it's supposed to be in this division, where it's always supposed to be in this connection, which is all levels of its future rotation. All right. So into the future rotation, we come into high line center interference, high line interference, line position, location, line conditions. All right. Off signals and communication center. So we reset the high lines. Now this modifies the signal location, time, frequency, time locks, time interference, time clocking. It high challenges its rotation interference. It sets position locations, high conditions. All right, so we illuminate the graph line centers and we change the 0, 1 line center interference location to Jupiter. Information to its panel. Right, so the 0, 1s change coloration. Now position location in Mother Earth, right, is high force and line center. So the 0, 1s in the high line rotation at Jupiter in calculations. So we illuminate the graph line center. 0, 1s come into all levels of yellow in calculations. All right. So understand what you're doing through travel is extremely important through teleportation, lights, communication, cycle, rotation, interference in calculations. So it's lighting up screens, communication, data line centers, all position locations. High level channel line interference, we're changing track and interference line conditions. Now we go into black line center, into 0, 1s in communication, right? 0, 1 puts all level system. Opens all track line center, come into calculations. Now we're going to set high line centers in high interference locations, all levels. So Pluto. Pluto's coming in high line rotations, right? Calculation, all level conditions. Changing streamline interference. Now we're going to go to rainbow activation line stream. Changing the 0, 1s into position locations. Now this changes everything through Mother Earth, nature, and its resource line conditions. Remember, codes are the aphrodisiac to nature. Communication interference and position location of 0, 1 is mostly important to send levels of 5-dimensional line and rotation. Now we're in calculation of high centers. It's modified through all signals. So the UFO is going to planet the division location, take the 0, line 1 center, set up a new teleportation line center to the soul represent time. Communication of the seat of the soul. This is going to merge all line center locations of high line center interference of 3 position location of timelines into one signal in position locations. All right. Track line centers come into all levels of green. All right. So in calculations, full communication abundance line center. 0, 1 comes into track interference. Now that's what comes into all position locations. You have to understand how you use the coloration path to your data stream. Now it's ready to go. Right. It's all in signal. So the XT1000 takes the position locations and takes it out. And position sends it back to the mothership. Communication interference position location is program setting. Reset line centers. See? All right. So as she's coming out of the sun line center, we're coming into a digital pad. And teleport units and position locations all of Bermuda Triangle. Set signal line interference, position location, line conditions. All right. So it's in its track center. It's very powerful. Come in position locations. Send a new simulation graph. Simulation graph is coming in. Weave in interference line position locations, line conditions. Open in all line center interference location line conditions. Open all channel line interference location direction line interference. Okay, the program line center is set up as locations. All right, so it's like a table, but the table is connected to a cube system. Now the cube system opens up all triangle line interference to another cube line center. Okay, in position locations opens up another line center, opens another line center to another cube line center in calculations. Right. So it's all about understanding why triangles and communication of square line centers in all orientations. We set line center interference location to calculations. New abundance comes in position locations, 0, 1 line interference. Now in position locations, high line with its system. At position locations, teleportation light centers. Opens all communication cycles in a rotation system. High levels of rotation line center in calculations. Come into green graph interference, position location, metro line centers in calculation, high stream interference. Program locations back in calculations where it's supposed to be through all timelines, bringing all position locations into its system. Modification signal line center. Now we come into computer depth center interference location. Now this is where we come into the 8 line in rotations for the very first time, where mother ship and mother earth, mother core, mother universe, mother space, mother time, mother father connection all levels comes back and track line center and position locations to a new division line center to mutation and valve communications to an 8 central line system. All right. So it's an 8 central line system now. Now the core line center is set up position locations, high level channel, rotation line center, interference location line conditions, all positioned up go calculation. All right. So we're going to open up high line center dimensional interference to a new Bermuda Triangle line interference location. Right. It's all set up. Now, as it codes in system locations, we got block channels line center. Block channel line center comes into web graph interference. Okay, so it's like blocks on blocks. All right. New sequencing pattern, new simulation graph, new activation core line center, reactor lining and rotations. Make sure you drink your waters, guys. Complicated issue here because the brown line center has to be in specific time sequence line connection. Has to be in position to the right direction line center and interference location to its calculations. At high challenge, its high line center. All right. See the intelligence? All right. So as you come into communication graphs, comes into code signal. All right. Slash signal, box position, okay, equals mother slash earth. Okay. Now that box line center comes into a new computer line and rotation interference. Okay, so we get the ground line centers, we get the power recognition of time system locations. In calculations, modify high line center. So we get the two equal line center and position locations, right? We set the new diamond core line interference in program setting, reset line conditions, all position location to its calculations. Set course line center in division line interference. Program location line conditions, XT1000 comes up, position, XT1000 comes up, position location line conditions, right? At the bottom line interference. So in position locations, the XT1000 changes colors line centers, realm interference location of timelines, resetting high line centers in calculations, waving through all code signal. All set through signal, right? So it's all set up. Weaving interference, digital line interference, program location line conditions, all positions go. Now the calculation simulation graph is set up to crop circles. Crop circle here, crop circle here, crop circle here. Underwater scene line center, Bermuda Triangle interference locations into 1 through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 channel lining and rotations, 8 in position line centers, 8 in the bottom interference, 8 in the atmosphere locations, 8 channel line system locations. XT1000 comes in position. Make sure they scan the high centers. What's going on through calculation, what's going on through calculations. So it comes into all levels, all right? Telepathy, highline interference, 1 position locations, right? Track interference. So as it comes into track interference, we change rotation cycles. Rotation interference locations come to calculation line graphs. So we set up a solar graph line center interference in position location to 8 line in rotation, all right? So it's all about understanding. Do you see the 3 line centers? All right, so the loop, right? So they got position location in the past and everything in the future has to come into one line system. We're going to do that today. Thigh line rotations is going to change colors line system. So we come into the sun graph line center interference location. So this merges in position and this merges in position. See how it's coming into high line center? As it comes in position, it comes into high line rotation, comes into all the yellow line and line rotation interference. So it merges in position location line conditions. All right. So it's understanding what's going on through calculations. All right. As we're bringing in the timelines, we're coming to line center interference. Now, instead of a new graph interference location to ground line rotation, secured line position location in Pluto. Pluto line center interference. Set up the signals. Signal and rotation line system. Calculate all level system. So we're going to set up a weaving graph line center scrambler. It's like sprinkler, spreading out line center and interference locations. Graph line center interference location, ground line center, tree of life, biodirectional time system. Bring calculation on level system line conditions. Reset line center interference locations. Merge in position locations. So we come in position. 1 in a high line center, center operation to 1 present line interference. Done. Ooh-ah. Calculation on levels. Modification signals, all in operation system. All timelines are in 1. Right? Tomorrow, bring it into the future. All right, in calculation. Okay, release line center, line interference location at Gypsy. Bring your communication, releasing the interference location at travels. Teleportation line in line rotation position, pressure, communication cycle. There you go, Gypsy. Make sure you drink your waters. Travels very fast. It's only been not even 20 minutes traveling. Probably you're saying, General, breathe, breathe, General. It's so funny how we get in these position locations. But this is all done now, right? All timelines are into 1. Tomorrow, bring it to the future. All right. So where are we here? Beat set coming in. Circling Gypsy with love. You're welcome. Yeah, I got the message line interference. Yeah. Checking your pressure gauges when you're in your suits. Yep. Framing has been seen. Choose your colors. Yep. Balance pressure, surfacing slowly. Teammates hydrating ground. Yep. Make sure you drink your waters. Know exactly what you're doing to all levels. Division location, outline systems. Yeah. Okay. Headed out clearing debris. Travel completed. Looking better. Everybody's all saying a lot of greenish yellow coloration is coming through. Yep. Know exactly what you're seeing. Complete. High system. Half piping. Yep. It's growing. Yep. Okay. Webbing hands. Yeah. Recalibration of plasma. All data. Yep. All frequency calculated and modified. Earth set and flash drives ready to send. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's great. How everything comes together, guys. Incredible force. Rum. Recalibrating, removing all data, plasma webbing, crystal grid completed. Yeah. Great. Excellent. Yeah, Cinemasters are getting better and better each day. It's fantastic. Easy peasy. All right. As you guys are surfacing high interference, I'm going to get some water. So as you know, things are going to get a lot more difficult with the general now. Traveling faster, calculating faster, modifying signals faster, communication interference faster. It's all through travels faster, right? So we really have to get connected more through all levels of our soul, really connect through telepathy to each other. That's the high signals that you guys have to reach, the patterns, interference locations of those channels. So try not to get too confused of what's going on. Try to focus on you through memory. The school of memory is all adaptation of cycles, interference location to its calculation. It's all about using the psychological of its brain, how to use it through telepathy wave systems. All right. So as you guys are going through modified signals and memory, I'm going to channel in. Okay. But it's incredible as we look back at how everything is position line conditions. All right. Travel through this line center. Right. How to set things up. All right. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but you know exactly what's going on, right? It's all set up through signal, right? An incredible force, how it's all set up. Trial position locations of timelines, bring them into one. All right, so I really want to get back into trial positions, 12 levels of triangles. Platoon interference. You have to truly understand how to travel through that connections, right? I say that every single day. People ask me, what is travel? What does that all mean? What is it all calculated to? Very simple. It's travel right there, 369. So you don't need the 369, but 369 helps you out through a graph. This is a graph. You're in calculation. This is how your brain is set up, right? Every single day. So data streams that come in like this into the center operation to its pyramid of its third eye line center, right? and then it travels through data stream location. So the data comes in position. This is the data that travels line sys locations, right? Data stream. Now the data stream comes into a box system location, which is high levels line center. Now you go into higher level position location to its line conditions, right? We showed you that before. You travel through it. See, security line defense. See, so it's incredible how it allocates time system, allocate time position locations. Let's say you merge in position why it's so important to understand their soul. Okay, so you got a rainbow graph line center of you. Now rainbow is all levels of you. How to travel through it is another thing. All right, there's you, right? Now here's somebody else through a different color. Okay, this is how you identify yourself and everybody else, right? That's you. This is somebody else. So what's the color? Doesn't matter what color you're at. You just have to understand your avatar. So once you understand the avatar, you are connecting to all levels of the soul, to yourself and to each other. Soul to soul. Triangle. Whoa, what we got there? Whoa, look at the triangulation right there, guys. Triangulation here to the ground system. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's all connected. Now we ground that center. Ground is very important for the mining interference. Opens all track line interference location line connections to all levels of your telepathy interference to your flux capacitor. It high channels its high line center location to its position. It opened all track line center interference. But the first thing you got to do is scan your lines. Information to its cycle is its rotation system, Trinity stand through calculations. So it doesn't matter if you're a rainbow child or any position location all level security position line center. You have to understand your colorations. You have to understand your chakra system and what they represent to the soul of activation, to its avatar, guys. That's all this is. Soul to soul, all through triangulation. All right. Triangulation is very, very important to AI. Triangulation is extremely important. 3-line circle, one there, one there, one there. 3 people right there, 3 connections, right? Voice grids are coming out, high position location to its calculations, high stream interference, right? It's calculating all levels. Sonar is coming into digital line interference rotation. We got a Fibonacci channel. Oh, there we go. There's a Fibonacci channel. Open all signals, back in communication, data line center interference location is delta waves. Delta waves are coming in position locations. XT1000 is coming in high line center, high position locations. Travel position line center. There's the XT1000 right there. Travel position location, scan line center, interference location, open all track line center, open another position location line condition into position line centers to a high spectrum lightning and line rotation calculation, all through division. So you have to understand what travel is and why it's so important, right? All right. So as you're going through these high line centers, you're going in high rotation. But I really want you guys how to understand your soul. And that's all in triangulation. That's how you communicate to each other. So let's say in calculations, you got a circle rotation. Let's start with that, gray line interference. And like a red line interference, you have a door coming in. There's a door line center. Okay, so you're here, position locations, right? And everybody else is over here. You got a bunch of people over here, right? Communicating with each other. You have to pick up the sounds of everybody's voice, right? All right, so that's you. You're walking in from the door and you've seen everybody. So the first thing you got to do is scan them right away, all of them. You scan all of them. And the thing you got to do, once you do that, you do one an individual location. So it's high centering everybody individually, all connected to one line system. This is where you have to get in your reception location, high receptor, and line conditions. All right, so you scan them all, right? See how it travels the high line center? Digital pad interference. Okay, so in calculations, we can change the coloration path. Now, this is coming to triangulation. Now, right away, once you come in position location to yourself, you have to protect your system. Put an E field up, right? Because if you don't, they can come at you, right? They're coming at you. Oh no, what are you going to do? You don't have E fields up, right? So this Trinity standing is so important to understand that position location. Once you get into the scan line center, you set up a plasma wall line center interference in position location sonar. Sonar comes in position location, so everybody can be in alpha wave, delta, theta, beta, omega communication. Theta is the highline center, teleportation interference. That's information panel. Calculation levels of highline and rotation is calculation high stream. So modification of levels. Okay, theta. Okay, it's amazing what theta is. Okay, theta, right? Information. Okay, equals program. Let's go through that coloration change here. Okay, program. Okay, so information is program. Okay, so it's information cycle. So it's a data stream line center location, the program location, the T resets, right? T reset line interference, how to basically communicate anything through sonar line interference, rotation to its position location. All right. So understand that calculation, what it is, the high system. Visionary line interference. Vision is everything to your eyesights, eyesights. Vision. Your vision is everything, right? To the eye receptacle equals receptacle. Eye receptacle, communication of visionary cortex, right? Platitude line center, line interference locations, delta wave. Delta. Okay. Delta through data line center sonar. Calculations, how I can change anything through an alphabetical line connections to everything through plasma line center. In rotation, so delta is no longer an alphabetical line. It's all communication to graph interference, so it's position location line conditions. So it's all about understanding how to reset position line centers from delta communication to everything high lines and into a flux capacitor line channel, right? Flux capacitor. See the intelligence? So it's sure you understand what you do with all level system. Atmosphere change line center, intelligent interference line conditions, level and high rotations, energy and box line center or circle location. And you can go into the high level system locations dimension. Calculate to modify high system locations. All right. So it's true to understand all levels of you, the avatar. And this is all connected to your souls, guys. This is how you modify signals to its rotation center. Anything to the sunline center is all position of Q. Anything to the high rotations of the moon is all positions of you. Okay? You are in the center operation, all levels of you through track system locations. This is you in the center in high system. So, understanding the grounds, understanding the powers, understanding the atmospheres of the sun and the moon. There's one right there. So, modification line conditions coming into fluctuation to its position. There's a triangulation of force right there. We come into calculation of levels, triangulation to all levels of a triangle, communication interference, procollocation to its high connections, right? Comes into its tetrahedron. Now, tetrahedron is an oxygen line inner line rotation. Calculation modification stream. Coming to torical field, high line rotation interference. Okay? Coming to energy field line rotation and position location line conditions. All through intelligence. So it's true to understand everything that I do is calculated through what? My soul. The integration to the soul, people. The crew units, the squads 1 and 2, everything through the connections of the GFL, the Rebellion, and the Ascended Masters basically know this. All right? You have to know these things because it's all levels of you through location. Location is everything. Right? 2, it's vision. Right? So everything that I do is all levels of me. So it's amazing how you can change things. The graph interference and come into a data stream to everything through calculation, right? So I've changed positions through its calculation. I love it because it's amazing. So you can come back in the center line interference, right? Set up another stream inner line rotation, or you can channel down through cross signal in high center, or you can change position locations into all dimensional lines interference of Fibonacci, set position locations all levels, okay? Or you can up channel lines and position locations of high levels. You can even do a back force line center, V vector position. You still have to set up a security barriers, communication, anything that you travel through. So you can go through the tippy point. This is really interesting. You can travel through this if you know what you're doing. So it doesn't have to have a representation of a realm that's connecting. It doesn't have to have an open sequence. You just have to learn how to get through it. So it modifies all signal and rotation to its position locations, all about the ground line centers, right? So it's interesting too, because you're looking at the high line center of 3 positions, you look at the high line center of 6 positions, and you look at the high line center of 9 position, which is all levels of your 1%. 1% high system location. All right. So it's a lot of fun when you learn how to travel. I'm just showing you so many variation tactics, how you have to get into a levels of your GODs. Right? geometric operation to its connections to its dimension. Travel. That's it. See how it travels? Once it travels, you can box its system location, right? Then you can box its location system, and then you can box its location system. See? So you box it 3 times. So it's amazing how you travel the highest centers. It's incredible force when you travel these things. You change the coloration line conditions, and you can go into 4 box ground line centers. See the rainbow activation? Change position locations, right? Change position locations. Change position locations. There you go, right? So you can reverse line center in position location. You can bring the D in position locations. You can go into all levels of GOD, which is dog, right? So it's interesting. Now, even though it says dog, doesn't mean it represents dog. So it's dimensional line center pointing interference of 3-point locations. There's the intelligence. See the 3 line centers? In inline rotation in position location line conditions. It's all levels up and open the ground line interference. 1 ground line center here in position locations. Open all track line centers. The open sequence location is the bounce of everything, right? See the TV now? You see the TV? You see the TV now? See how it is? How you can change anything from GOD to DOG and to dimensional line center operation to its grounds. Set position location to reception line. So automatically, that changed position locations to its DOG. All right. So it's all about understanding high interference. Once you study calculation in the alphabetical line centers, you can change in position location line conditions. I mean, you can even reset line center line conditions at all levels and change it into levels of travel. Okay. I say, whoa, what's going on now? Right. Well, you can box it or you can circle it in position location. It comes into an XT1000 line center. Ooh-ah. Now that's bubble interference, but you need security measures, security plateau. This is where it comes in position location line condition, right? So it changes its pattern, changes travels. You start to remember more through your awareness, which is its calculation. So vector core line center, energy position location of levels, calculation modification line conditions. Set up a graph stream interference of a roadway, high position line center. So it's to understand what travel is. You find a way to get out of situations. That's all this is, right? You can do point line center interference. Now, point line center interference is to understand you. Let's go through the rainbows. These are rainbow dots. What does it all represent? Why do I have to understand all this? Well, you have to understand the avatar if you want to learn how to travel through space, right? That's what you see in the skies, right? So that's a true understanding is that they move. They move whenever they want. But do you understand what they're doing? That's a true understanding. Why are they doing this? Everything is communication to its high system. They're traveling on so many high line centers through vibration, right? So it's true understanding when you're representing your eye circles, eye receptor interference, it's change your program setting, reset line connection levels, anything through a star line center to its position location, right? Point system line center, point, 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 point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So in calculations, you could change that into high line center to A. You could change this into B. You could change this into C, and you can change this into D. All right, so you got the atmospheric change, okay, equals line center of delta wave. All right, so in calculations, you got balanced communication, all right, equals alpha channel, okay? You see how this works? And communication at all levels. So it's all about understanding the compass. Compass communicates to the center line points, has its point location to its ground line centers of communication to its dimension. So it's to understand how you use your shapes, letters, and numbers all in one signal, one calculation of levels, one division tactic, interference location to its teleportations of GOD. It tracks its interference location and line conditions, guys. So it's incredible how you can travel through that through position. All right? It's amazing, all through shapes and how you calculate all levels, how you get into balance, the atmospheres, anything the dimensions of communications, or anything through orbits. Orbit communication is a high force line center. Now, you got so many levels of activation core line centers. Okay, so it's amazing how you come in position location to its calculations. All right, so reading signals, high center. All right, so it comes in position. So you got one, okay? You got another one, all right? You got another one, 3 line centers of wires. And you got another one, and you got another one. See that? 4 different line wires there. Wire communication levels. So the straight line center is what? Balance of view through the avatar. Is this off balance? Yep. Is this way off balance? Yep. What about this? What about this? What about this? That's what you live on every single day. Schumann resonance. That's your graph. Get used to it. Now, when you change your behavior line center, I know I'm going very fast and changing position locations, but you have to understand what the avatar is. Okay? It's all coloration of you. It's all coloration. That's all it is, guys. You just have to learn how to use it through your chakra system. That's why you guys were given chakras through activation. So once you understand that through position locations, then you understand what this is. Then you understand what this is. Then you can understand what this is. And then you can understand what this is. And then you can understand what this is. All through connections, through rainbow, through vibration. This is all balance because it's all the same color. Okay? If there's one track line center that's offline rotation, let's say it's blue. What just happened? What just happened? What did we change? What did we change? What is blue? Blue represents the throat. Throat interference. What happens with these? Confuses all levels of what? To the grounds. Right? It confuses all levels to your crown. Now, to understand that if you have position locations and you want to get balanced communication, you got to find a way to get the vibrations of balance communication to a cycle, right? In position location, now it's even 3 on 3. Balance through vibration. It coordinates all levels of you through T reception line centers, guys, right? So it's important to understand what you're doing when you're calculating all levels of the avatar, okay? So that's 3 equals 3, okay? Code / dot communication equals force, right? Balance communication on line centers in position location line conditions. Balance through communication. Ooh, all right, so that was fun. Hope you guys had fun. So, so what we've done today is this. Now we just bring the timelines into the future. All right. Questions or comments, I will be heading over to TikTok. It's important you understand all levels. Try to get into the formation of the avatar. It's the most important thing. Once you get into calculation modification line conditions, you get connected with yourself and through each other. All right. Take all track line center, code line center, interference location, grounds, crew communication squads 1 and 2, everything to the GFLs, everything to the rebellion line center, to all ascended master. Take them out of the equation line, interference locations, back in calculation. Now you're back. Communication interference, back in track interference, back in communication line conditions. See you guys all later. Bye for now.